Hey, this is Matt Wenning at WenningStrength.com, and today we're going to talk about bulletproof abs for life. Now, there are a lot of different ways you can train your abs, but today we're going to go over how to hit abs, do it right, make sure it's protecting your back, and make sure they're actually functional instead of just looking good. I want to have full disclosure from the beginning of this video. One, if you want good-looking abs, abs are made in the kitchen, okay? If you want good-looking abs, you got to watch what you eat. That's already going to turn around half of you guys that actually watch this video, right? But the point is that you're going to have your carbs fairly low or low enough for you. You're going to have your fats and your calories dialed in to actually see abs. But today I want to dive into what it takes to have strong abs. And strong abs aren't always ones that you see in the magazines. They're ones that actually function under heavy loads or doing just daily things and don't cause a lot of back pain or issues. So let's get to some exercises. First, one of my favorite exercises is the old school decline sit-up. Now, the old school decline sit-up is great because it learns to keep your abs tight, but it's also building your hip flexors at the same time. Now, building hip flexors are going to be huge in order to protect your pelvis and make your abs strong. So don't think your abs are just one particular area that's only connected from your ribs down to your hips. They connect everywhere, right? So you have transverse abdominis, you have rectus abdominis. You got a lot of different muscles going a lot of different ways, and they play synergistic parts in all kinds of movements. So real, actual ab movements are stuff that requires bracing. So what might that be? Squatting, deadlifting, good mornings, high pulls. All these different exercises are going to cause you to have ab contractions and learning how to stay tight. Now, obviously, we've seen a lot of the world's strongest men and guys that are top-level powerlifters. They don't appear to have abdominal muscles. Trust me when I tell you that their bracing capabilities at the world-class level are completely uncanny. So now we know that core lifts are an ab exercise as well. Okay. Now, the next thing is, what are some isolated movements that we could do that are going to hit your abs? Well, the first one is, and it's not thought of often, is reverse hypers. So how many of you guys have ever gotten on a reverse hyper, never been on it before, and noticed that you can't breathe, and then it's hard on your abdominal wall? Well, that's because your abs are being pushed into the pad, meaning that they have to stay tight. So being able to do that is going to cause you to have different kinds of breathing, therefore make you feel out of breath and uncomfortable in your abdominal wall. But think about it. You're actually training your glutes, your hamstrings, and your lower back while your abs are getting trained. Sounds like a really good exercise to me, number one. And number two, I think what you're also starting to learn is if it involves the lower back, it involves the abdominal muscles, okay? There's no way around it. The next exercise that I like to do is a winning plank. Now, a winning plank has been modified from a normal plank, laying on the ground with your elbows and your feet. This one is more intensive. Why? Because you're in a standing leaned position and almost your entire body weight is directly right on your abs. There's not really any way to get around from it. So as you can see in this video, there's a really strong lean and it's a nice strong contraction, but it also, in my opinion, has a very strong transfer over to standing abdominal position, meaning if you learn how to use your abs when you're standing, you're probably going to protect your back better. So that's when I find that normal crunches on the ground are not necessarily really good for protecting anything. Yeah, they might help you with your abdominal six-pack if your diet's good. They might make your abs look a little stronger. But as far as functionality is concerned, I'm not so bought on the fact that crunches are really going to do a whole lot. I think that the winning plank is going to be a great exercise. Now, we also have our standard just band crunch. Now, this is going to look really similar to the winning plank, but what you're doing is actually standing straight up in the air. I like this one for people that are sitting down a lot, people that have desk jobs, i.e., sitting down. One, because I think that vertical spinal decompression. If you have a strong enough band, it's pulling upward. Now, what you have is your vertebral discs are getting a little bit of a break from holding your body weight or sitting in a chair all day. So a lot of my office and corporate people that we train both online and in the gym, we do a lot of regular band crunches for that vertical spinal decompression. Okay, so there's the exercise, another exercise that I really like. Another one that I like to tie into with the hip flexors and overall body tightness is the kneeling cable crunch. The kneeling cable crunch is a great exercise, one, because you don't need a whole lot of stuff to do it. You can do it with just a cable machine. But two, what I like about it is it seems to tie in everything from here down to my knee, making that entire anterior chain have to work, stabilize, and control itself. So as you know, a lot of those exercises, that exercise in particular, I actually got from Arnold Schwarzenegger's Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding, and he used to do a ton of them back in the 70s in his heyday in bodybuilding. But I really liked him for powerlifting and any other particular endeavor. Now, one last exercise that I like that you don't see a lot of is a band oblique crunch from a top position. So basically, you're going to see this band is at a top position, could be from the top of a door or a bar, it doesn't matter. And you're basically going to lean over and you're going to crunch holding this band in the closest arm. Now, what that's doing is working the opposite side of oblique and causing you to learn how to have stiffness on the outside of the abdominal, which is your oblique muscles. Now, what's even more unknown is one of the first muscles that fires on a deep squat is the oblique muscle. It actually kind of stabilizes the pelvis and causes the legs allow pressure to come back up through into the bar. So weak obliques tend to cause problems in squats, deadlifts, and all other types of movements, even in running. So getting your oblique stronger is going to help with all kinds of different things, and this is a great exercise to do so without any more spinal compression. Again, any of these exercises that you can do that's going to relieve or reduce or eliminate spinal compression is going to help you both in the short and long term. So I hope this exercise helps you maybe think about your abdominal training a little bit different. Remember, if you want good looking abs, that's in the kitchen. If you want performing abs, then these exercises are for you.